What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Now today I'm gonna be dropping a review on Princess Jellyfish. Bam! Volume 1, but this is a 2-in-1, so it's technically Volume 1 and 2. And back in 2008 and it finished around 2017. So the better half of a decade. By the mangaka here is Akiko Higashimura. Now before we talk about the story, let me just talk about the design a little bit because I really like what they did with this physical build of it and so forth. Alright, so this is the front cover. It says Princess Jellyfish, Volume 1. This is our main character, Tsukimi. She's obsessed with jellyfish. She thinks they look like princesses and whatnot. This is Kanosoki, our other main character. This is Mayaya, Chiko, Gigi, and Banba-san. Okay, so those are our main characters. This is the back of the book, nothing fancy. This is the spine. I really like the spine. It's very colorful and you get the volume numbers right here. Each spine will be different right here. Another thing it does this. This lets you know volume 2 is starting. So it gives you a color page in the middle of the book. You know, first volume ended, second volume is about to start. As you can see here, our main character, Tsukimi, looks completely different here. A lot more pretty and whatnot, right? And our other main character, Uranosoki, he looks a lot different too, right, than on the cover I just showed you. We'll get to that when we talk about the book right now. Alright, so let's get into it a little bit. This book starts off with our main character, Tsukimi. She's with her mother and they're in this aquarium seeing jellyfish. So she's really infatuated with jellyfish, right? She says they look like little princesses because when they're swimming around and so forth, you see the tails and the colors. Looks like princesses' dresses. So this starts off as like a flashback because now in the modern time, her mother's dead. She's older now. She's no longer a little kid. She's like in her early 20s. And she's moving away from home, starting like her college life, if you will. And they're all living in this dorm called, they call themselves a group of Amars. Now what I like in this book, it breaks down what the slang for you, right? What Amars means, because I was not familiar with the term. These are like Japanese terms, I guess. Amars is basically a group of girls that are like, kind of like nerds, if you will. And the popular people, they call them the stylish. So they're like intimidated when they see stylish, right? When they see people that are stylish and popular. Because they're talking about how when you dress up and you got style to you, you become more popular and more social, right? More people talk to you and so forth. And you look more attractive. So they hate those kind of people because they feel awkward around them, right? So they're only around people that are like them. And the thing I forgot as I'm flipping through the pages right here is you get this very cool table of content. Now here's the first 6 chapters, that's volume 1. It's all on one side of the page. And on the other side, it's all what's the chapters to volume 2, which is 7 through 12. So I like how they separate the two and how you know exactly what pages they start in. It's pretty sick. I'm digging the whole design of this. Like I said, makes it very easy to know what pages each chapter starts. Each chapter gets a cover and you see where volume 1 ends and volume 2 starts. This is the cover to volume 2 and this will be the cover to volume 1. I love the whole design. I thought it was very well thought out the way they did everything. Towards the end of the book, it shows you about all the slang, like the Japanese slang. It translates it for you. So I like the way this book just sets everything up in a very easy to digest type of format. Like for example here, there's words like Fujoshi, Otaku, Mars, Haiti, Okama. Has them all right here. And it explains to you what each word means, right? Then it tells you like the 2 different groups right here. And it explains a little bit about each group of fashionist people and the Mars. So that's pretty cool. I like the way it's easy to keep up with everything and understand the book better once you read that stuff at the end as well. Alright, we jump back into modern times. Kimi is at a pet shop. She's noticing there's this jellyfish. There's a spotted jellyfish and a moon jellyfish. They're in the same tank. They're not supposed to be in the same tank because a moon jellyfish carries this mucus that will feed off of energy from other sea creatures, right? So it will slowly kill a spotted jellyfish. She's telling the guy at the aquarium about this, letting him know he got to change them. And he's letting her know he can't do anything about it because he doesn't own the pet shop, right? So at this point, Kuranosoki comes in, makes her first appearance in the book. It's a 2-page spread, so you see that, damn, she's looking hot, like just drop dead gorgeous, right? And we make it a 2-page spread so that you know it's a big moment. Tsukimi is at awe with her beauty, like, oh no, it's a stylish person and she can't be around people that are dressed nice and are pretty, right? She gets nervous. So she asks Tsukimi, what's going on? Why are you crying and so forth? She explains the dilemma. She helps solve this problem. She lets the guy know, then just let her have this spotted jellyfish. It's gonna die anyways. So they carry it back to her house and they're starting to build a friendship, right? And naturally, they would not be friends because of the way they dress different, right? One dress stylish and is pretty, and the other one is very normal and pajama, sweats, whatever, out in public, right? So I like what the book does here, that it shows how these two characters come from two totally different parts of life, and how they, if you give them a chance to know each other, they're not that different, right? So that's basically where the story starts, right? These two characters meet, and they're the two main characters. Now, we're starting to see that it gets off to a rocky start because they do come from different walks of life and different types of groups, right? But we stop concentrating as the story goes about their differences, and we start concentrating on what they do have in common and how they can both learn from each other. Now, Kuranosuke, she's a stylist, and she starts teaching Tsukimi. Maybe if you dress a little different, you put some makeup on. And we see how she's pretty, right? She looks gorgeous once she's dressed up. Another freaking princess. So now they both look hot. And as we get to know the characters, we find out also that Kuranosuke, we already knew she looks gorgeous, but as we get to know her, we find out she a 10, but she a he. Holy shit, right? Like, she's a guy that cross dresses. So that was a bit of a shocker at the moment when it happened. But we also find out that we start getting to know about their family lives. We see how he's a cross dresser. I don't know if he identifies as he or she in the book. It's not really clear about that. But we know he cross dresses, and his father is very strict about that, right? He's old school. He's an older guy. Says, whenever you speak to me, do not speak to me when you're dressed that way. So whenever he's dressed that way, he makes him go change in his room and change into a guy before he can speak to his dad, right? Or else his dad would like ignore him. So other than that, the dad is not necessarily a bad person. He just doesn't, this part of his life, right? But other than that, he treats them, fair. So we're getting to slowly see the dynamic of these two characters and their lives and so forth, right? The dad also, he has his reasons. He's this politician, and the media, they get any little thing on you and they'll use it against you. So he's paranoid about that stuff. They'll use this to attack me, right? Kuranosuke has an older brother. His name is Shu. He works in politics with the other, right? So he's very straight-laced, all about work. Lives a boring life. That's all he's into, right? Like, he doesn't go out and have fun and so forth. So one night he meets this girl that's, she's a little ratchet, very shady. She's up to some shenanigans. So what she does is, Rufus, your boy's brother! Holy crap. So she gets crazy in this book sometimes. But it's very fun and very comedic and lighthearted at the same time. So now, she gets him naked and takes these pictures with him, right? Now, that dad works in politics. He's gonna have enemies and people gunning for him. So she's trying to use these pictures to like blackmail him somehow. Maybe he'll now be ashamed of the son, or ruin his relationship. Who knows what she plans to do with these pictures, but it's nothing good. We know that much. I don't want to ruin any more about the story, plot-wise and so forth, but we know we now have got introduced to our villain. Right, she's clear-cut, the bad guy. What did I think about the book, right? I'm loving how the characters, they're all completely different from each other, and they're all like kind of awkward, if you will, but it leaves a lot of room for improvement, right? For the characters to evolve as the story goes along. So this first volume, I'm gonna probably hit it with like a 10 out of 10, man. I was really enjoying it. I don't know as a whole, the series, what it's gonna be, but right now it's really good. Also, our popular fashionista character and so forth, he also has his own flaws, and he's dealing with his own stuff with his family and so forth. So he has room to improve too. He's getting to know these more like kind of nerdy people, right? And they live a more slow-paced life than he was on the fast pace and the clubs and so forth. And he finds this kind of soothing and a nice change of pace, right? He was getting burned out on the whole club scene and partying and all that stuff. So he finds this kind of cool, checking out Jellyfish, going to aquariums, playing board games. Found it kind of something he needed in his life at this time. And it helps him get away from his house because he doesn't want to be at home because of the whole situation with him and his dad, how he doesn't accept his lifestyle, right? Also, another thing I loved about it is it makes no bones about how we get judged based on appearance. We live in a materialistic world. It's the way it goes, right? You get judged based on the way you're dressed, right? You can have two people the same race. If you have one in a suit or like a nice button-up shirt, dress shoes, then you got somebody in some baggy pants and like a big shirt and whatnot. You're gonna people are gonna see them two different ways, right? But based on your clothes, and that's your appearance, right? Your clothes bring out your personality. It lets people know what kind of music you listen to, what kind of things you're into based on the way you dress. People will kind of get a good idea, right? So I like how it's very forward with that. Like it just lets you know it is what it is, and it does kind of explain it as the book goes along, and you know it makes sense. Although I feel like I didn't need it to be explained to me because I already was of that state of mind. I believe in that a lot, that you do get just based on the way you're dressed more than anything, right? And also maybe the way you speak. Like people will look at you differently if you like swear a lot or whatnot. It can come off as aggressive sometimes, and it can be you know, like people can shy away from you. So you gotta learn to know when you're in different situations, you kind of gotta speak different as well and carry yourself a little different depending on where you're at, right? So all in all, I'm digging what this book has to say. Whatever it's selling, I'm buying, right? So yeah, that's basically my review. Hopefully you guys got something of value out of this, and maybe it helped you make a decision if you want to pick it up or not. If it did, go ahead and hit that like button, and if you want to see more of the same, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way it'll notify you on your feed every time a new video goes up. Alright guys, thanks for taking some time out of your day to check out this video, and I'll check you guys out next time.